If you're anything like me, you decorated a lot for the holidays and you got burnt out on it. But now there's something simpler, and I want to try this out, and you guys can come along with me on this little journey. These are the Brillilux LED lights. These are the kind you put around your gutters, around your eaves. These are the kind that you can leave up year-round, and you change them per holiday. So during Christmas, you change it to Christmas colors, Halloween colors, so on and so on. So anyway, I'm going to put these up today. We're going to test these out. These are around $79 on Amazon. There will be an Amazon link in the description of this video and also in the comments if you want to check one of these out. I don't even know if these are great yet, but we're going to test them out, see how good they are. Let's get started. So this is what the box looks like, and you can see some designs on the outside there. We're just going to rip this open and take a quick look at these, and then we're going to put them up. It's going to happen pretty quick, folks. Let's get started. This is 50 feet worth of lights, by the way. And you open it up here, and you got some little sticky things. This is what goes on the lights so that it will hold them in place as you put the screws in so that they can stay permanently. These are permanent lights. And then we look inside here, we can see a remote control. That's awesome. We all love our wireless features and a remote control so we don't have to get up there and push any buttons or anything. So anyway, that would be kind of silly. Okay, so here's the lights themselves. Looks like a big old ball of Christmas lights like you normally see. But these right here are not just Christmas lights, or they can have a potential to be any kind of lights, whatever you want them to be, because they got so many different settings. So anyway, this is what it all looks like. There's your little plug-in area, and then there's the end there that connects. And then we got a set of instructions here for that remote and just for the lights in general. And you can see there, you can also get an app. And we're going to take a quick look at the app as well while we're using these things. All right, so I won't bore you to death with this stuff. But, you know, you've got instructions. You've got all the stuff you need to put these up. There's actually some screws in the box. And anyway, let's get started. And then you take these 3M stickers. And you're going to put those right on here. So somewhere on here. And you're going to do this to all these lights. And then that way, whenever you go to screw these in, they'll be stuck on the wall. So these aren't actually made for permanent sticking on the wall. And I called them 3M. I really don't know what brand they are. But these are made just to hold this in place while you place screws in here. And at first I was thinking this didn't come with screws, but it actually came with a bag of screws. It says that these are supposed to be 1.91 to 3.94 inches away from the wall. I don't know why they're getting so technical. Maybe just say 2 to 4 inches away from the wall. That's the way I read that. And then stick those on there. And eventually, they say all this is water resistant. And eventually you got to find a place to plug this into. So you want to get this plugged into some place that is extension cord friendly or garage friendly or whatever, however you're going to have this plugged in. You might have an outdoor plug, who knows. One end of this is capped off for waterproofness or weatherproofness. And this end right here is not capped off because this is what you'll be screwing into this weather tight plug right here. So female, male, screws together, and then this right here is just capped off. So this will be where your power's at. This will be the end of this thing wherever it's hanging at. First thing you want to do is plug these things in and see if they work, because you wouldn't want to get up there and hang these up and then, or maybe even screw them in and then turn them on and find out they don't work. You would feel like you got Munsoned big time. So right here, I've just got them on. I'm going to run through a couple of little clicks on this remote here. And I want to let you know the remote is kind of limited, whereas when you get the app, you can use it a lot. You do a lot of different features. Kind of a spoiler alert here. And even just knocking around with this remote, you can see there's some really cool colors in this. And it's not even dark in here. So look at this. Very neat. And you are going to have to do some ladder work if your eaves troughs are up high like mine are. And you can see I'm just pulling the stickers off and just sticking these up. And yeah, I probably should have cleaned this, and I didn't. But guess what? Those stickers still held tight. Had no problems getting those up there, and they just stuck really good. And then the next thing you do is put a screw in. There's actually 4 screw holes, and you put your screws in, and they are permanently affixed. I'm sure certain weather or something could rip these off just like they do gutters and that sort of thing. But as you can see right now, these things look pretty permanent. And this is how you connect. Not that you really need instructions for this, but this is how you connect the lights to the power plug. And don't take my word for it. I don't know if you're allowed to daisy chain these or not, but you can look here and you see these are installed. It took me probably a little over an hour to get these up. And I've got a little piece hanging down there on the end. I'll need to get something to hang that. See that little piece there? I need to get something and get that affixed to the eaves trough itself. Right here you can see the lights. I've got them on. I think they look awesome. There we go. I'm not going to babysit anybody through this, but this is what the app looks like. So if you want to download it, just hit the QR code and you can get there. And you can see here, these are the different settings that you can find on the app. So there's just a ton of different settings. So if you're trying to do holiday stuff, this is where you find it at. You won't find it on that little remote control. This is where you find the little details that give you all kinds of different, motions and lights and all that kind of different stuff, all the different styles. So this is where you want to go to find all that stuff on the app. These say as far as durability goes, they say they have an IP67 rating for weatherproofing. They also say that when it comes to sunlight, they're good in the hot sun and also in a cold winter. So they're supposed to be pretty durable. And I'm going to be mainly using these for just white light, just light to have outside for my dogs and just for when I'm outside in general. But they do offer a nice touch. And these also sync with music. So if you have music playing, these will sync up and, bounce around to the music. And right now, these are around $79 on Amazon, and I will have links in the description of this video and also in the comments if you want to check these out. And I'm just going to let you watch a few of the variations. So this is just me just showing you a bunch of different little, ways that these lights work. So these are some of the presets. I think they're pretty cool. Anyway, you can get this thing and probably spend hours playing with this thing, just trying to get it to do different things. But also the last thing I'm going to show you here is I'll show you with a little bit of music synced up to it to see how sensitive this thing is. And anyway, if you have any questions, throw it down in the comments. There are a couple of buttons on the remote, and they allow you to set this thing so that it is sound sensitive. So you can either just have it to where it's, fixed with whatever kind of light pattern you like or no light pattern at all, or you can have it set up to where it is sensitive to sound so you can play music and it will jump around to the sound you're making. This is jumping around right now to the sound of my garage door opening. So right now this is playing along to one of the songs that actually is preset inside this thing. I'm not going to play any music though because I don't want to get any copyright strikes, but just rest assured that music does react to this thing. Do I like these lights? I love these lights. So now on holidays, I will no longer have to decorate. I can just change the color of these lights and maybe the pattern or something. I know some people might want to decorate, a little more or just use these in addition. Also, if there is no holiday or anytime I want to, I can just use these for regular outdoor lights, and they're pretty bright and they give off some really quality light here in the yard so that the dogs can see what's going on and I can see what's going on. So would I suggest these? Yeah, I like these. I think they're really good. If you have any questions about these, please throw them down in my comments. If you'd like to buy a set, there will be an Amazon link in the description of this video and also one in the comments. Thanks so much for tuning into Tony's Reviews today, and God bless you.